Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and this is going to be a very different video. As you could see in the title, it says John Jones, the check drop conspiracy or theory, whatever I named it. But I'm gonna elaborate on that. I mentioned this in my last video that should be up by now. If you didn't listen to it, go check it out. It's my thoughts on the immediate aftermath of Mayweather McGregor, all that good stuff. So go check that out. And I mentioned this a little bit in this video, and I'm just gonna unpack all this right now. So I was listening to something. I listened to a clip, and I saw Brendan Schaub. He was actually talking about John Jones popping dirty and some new information that he got. And then the information that he got, I looked into more, and it makes sense because, my whole thing beforehand is like, dude, it doesn't make sense. Like, either he's doing some shit or he's getting set up. Because why would you pass all the random tests and then the one test you know about right before the fight, that's the one you fail? None of that makes sense to me. You like, either he's really doing something or someone's setting him up just because of the circumstantial evidence. It doesn't make sense. But, what Schaub presented kind of has me, kind of puts, kind of gives a possible answer to that situation. And then just by how applicable it is, it kind of hurts my heart. Because you guys know I'm a diehard Johnny Bones fan. But I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying this is what it is. Disclaimer. I am not saying that this is what it is, but it's very interesting. And it's to be, regardless of how much I like somebody, I have to be objective. And objectively receiving this piece of information, it could be applicable. But I'm not gonna just talk in like alluding to things. I'm just gonna get right into it. So he was saying that this guy hit him up, and he was saying the drug he wasn't trying to do turinabol. What he was actually trying to do was miblarone. And what miblarone is it's originally what it was intended for was a pharmaceutical veterinary drug. And the use for it was when female dogs was going through like ovulation, it would reduce the heat in their body. I don't know too much about all that, but that's what the intended use for it was. Now, in an abusive form, and when I say abusive, I mean it's being used with, it's being non-intentionally used. Like, for what it was intended to be for, that's not why it's being used. And what it does is it raises your aggression. It doesn't build muscle mass. It doesn't like add water weight. It doesn't do any other things that other steroids do. But what it does is it makes you a lot more aggressive and gives you that aggressive energy. Like, it's kind of chemically inducing a killer instinct and the energy to execute that killer instinct. No pun intended. And it's a Schedule 3 drug. And just to let you know, Schedule 3 drugs are anabolic steroids, ketamine, and like shit like that. Schedule 2 drugs is like cocaine, things of that nature. And then, think more like the harder drugs is Schedule 2, like meth and all that. And then Schedule 1, with the exception of heroin, Schedule 1 drugs are like marijuana, psychedelics, and all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm just mentioning that because they categorize it as Schedule 3, that it's not, quote unquote, that dangerous, and it's, quote unquote, you won't be chemically dependent on it. You might get psychologically dependent. Excuse me, but you're not going to be chemically dependent on it. And when it comes to the other schedules, like Schedule 1, they're trying to say that Schedule 1 has a high potential for abuse and there's no accepted medical use there's no medical treatment for it. But Schedule 3 is you can't use it for medical stuff. And they put an exception to marijuana in it, but all this shit's kind of bullshit, man. You know what I mean? And not to get too much into all that shit, but this has a very short half-life. The biological half-life is 2 to 4 hours, and it's a hepatic metabolism. So, this shit goes out of your system faster than blow. You know what I mean? And all that hepatic means is that it metabolizes through your liver. I'm a bio major and shit like that, so I'm not gonna break it down to like totally in depth. But there's different bodily organs that break down different things. So this goes through your liver, and your liver breaks it down. But it's very, very. It takes a large toll on your liver because of how potent it is. So it has to be microdosed. And the thing is, Cheque Drop. Cheque Drop was the brand name for it when it was being manufactured. Cheque Drops or Madanon or something like that. And that's when it was, being manufactured for the purpose for dogs. And then they stopped once it started coming into this world. And it's very big in the bodybuilding world, apparently, because it gives you that, like, the to do those heavy lifts and stuff like that, pull like that pump, like that kind of raw aggression. And it's rumored that this is the shit Mike Tyson was on when he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. So that's like that super aggression. And, for the fact that it has a short half-life, and so it's out of your system quick, and also that the effect is very immediate. It's not like a regular anabolic steroid where you have to continually use it while putting in the work. You know what I mean? Because you can't just inject yourself with steroids, not lift, and get jacked. You need to put in the work even if you're doing steroids. But with this, it's like you take it and then its use is there. You know what I mean? You take it and you get aggressive. You get that killer instinct. You get that I'm gonna take their head off. And since it stopped being mass manufactured and mass produced, and since they don't really use it in the veterinary world anymore, it's purely like a bodybuilder drug and a black market drug. And with like everything in the black market, you're not gonna know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Unless it's some sophisticated infrastructure. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of when the Silk Road was a thing, where it was a dark web black market where you could get drugs and they were pure. You know what I mean? You were getting clean stuff. That was their whole motto to it, is to provide people what they want, but clean stuff, because the black market, you don't know what you're getting. Now, the thing with this, it's kind of exclusively a black market thing because you can't pay any real doctor to give this to you. You know what I mean? Regardless of them even taking their risk of putting their license on the line, this isn't even something they could, a doctor can't write you a prescription for cocaine unless it's like 1832. The year 1832 when they use that shit as medicine. But now it's like you could only get it as if you were trying to buy some blow or something like that, something highly illegal. And it plays into the narrative of why he would pass the tests, the random test, and fail the one closer to the fight. I'm, again, disclaimer, I'm not saying this is what it is. I'm not saying John Jones is guilty. I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm not saying he took this. But I have to be objective and I have to at least look at it and think about it. You know what I mean? As much as a diehard John Jones fan I am, I can't just be like blindly deny things. I have to be able to be objective. And the thing is, with the black market stuff, you could get it tainted, like how they cut, like, blow with fucking baby laxative or other bullshit. They cut everything, you know. They're trying to make their money. So this stuff, Miblarone, a lot of times is tainted with Turinabol, which is what John pissed hot for. And, you know, with that bodybuilding gym that he was going to, like, after he got that hit and run, he got really big into bodybuilding. So he got, like, those people in that world that could possibly know about this. Now, do I agree with this, man? I'm not saying this is what it is. Straight up, man. I'm not saying this is what it is, but it's very interesting because my one kind of thing on it was like, what the fuck is, why would he fail that test before? If he was juicing, he would need to do shit beforehand. Otherwise, why would he just fail like a random ass? No, why would he pass a random ass test, and why would he fucking fail a test that he knows is coming? But the fact of the matter is that this shit could get out of your system so fast that if this was something you were choosing to take, you would take it closer to when you would want the effect of it to kick in, especially without the risk, with a significantly lower risk of getting caught. Now, everyone's body and biology is different. And although it says the half-life is 2 to 4 hours, it is a very short half-life, but it's not a guarantee. You know, maybe for some people it takes 4 hours and 32 minutes or something like that. But you can't take it and be like, all right, I'm going to be clean in 4 hours. Like, I'm taking it, it's 1 o'clock. My fucking test is at 5. It should be out of my system by then. There's no guarantee of it. It might be out of your system by 6 or 7, but, you know, there's no guarantee that it'd be out of your system by that time. So that is a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. Like, I'm gonna keep on reiterating that. I'm not saying this is what John Jones is doing, but this is something to take into consideration because this was the one thing that showed me, like, it kind of makes sense for what didn't make sense to me. And I mean, all this speculation, man, all this, like, I don't know, man, this really hurts John's legacy, and it kind of hurts my heart, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, I rock with John for a lot of reasons. And a big reason of that is his skill level and his talent. And just for things to be so constant, you know, it was outside of the octagon problems. But now that's creeping into the inside. So it's kind of like fuck ups from every aspect. And as long as his fight legacy wasn't being tainted, it was all cool. You know what I mean? Not all cool, but you get what I'm saying. But the fact that now it's actually like, it's like debated. Was that really, is John as great as he was, or was he cheating? That shit just like, that I don't know, man. That just sucks. Because he put in so much work, and the truth of the matter is, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know John Jones personally. I'm not in his camp. And I do not subscribe to the thought, oh, if he would do all this stuff, if he would do cocaine, why wouldn't he do steroids? Because when it comes to drugs for pleasure and drugs for performance, those are two totally different mindsets. So I'm not linking those two up. I mean, people that say that just don't do drugs for recreation. So they they don't understand it. And I'm not advertising it, but to each his own. And I'm not saying cocaine is good for recreation or anything. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm not going to judge anybody for what they choose to do if it's not harming anyone. You know what I mean? And I just think it sucks because I didn't get to touch on it before because I was so focused on Maymac and all that. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't want to focus on it because it's so shitty. It's so shitty, man. Like it feels surreal in a bad way. Like, I can't believe he really fucking failed another test. And with the rate of what it is, even so, man, I still kind of subscribe to the school of thought that with this amount of consistency, because it's his second fight and it's his second consecutive scheduled fight and second consecutive failed drug test for performance enhancing drugs. Also, I saw another video by, can't remember dude's name. I think like Mixed Molly Whoppery, something like that. And he was doing a video where he was kind of going through the whole previous UFC 200 process of what was actually documented being said. And although they did accept the dick pill excuse, they did document a lot of their skepticism and the holes to the story. They said the verbal accounts between John Jones and the teammate, I don't remember his name now, but they put the name of the teammate that gave him the dick pill and they actually interrogated him. This I wasn't privy to. I didn't know that. Now, they gave statements and they say the verbal statements was completely different. And the written statements were very similar, and it seems as though as it was orchestrated as Malkikawa. That's what they said along those lines. And they said on the invoice of the dude who bought those dick pills, he bought those dick pills, and on the same receipt, he ordered clomiphene. So you see on the receipt, it says this dick pill and then clomiphene. Like if you go to the grocery store and you buy milk and eggs, fucking $6, and then it breaks down three a piece. It said dick pills, however much dollars, and then the actual drug clomiphene, whatever dollars. And clomiphene is used is an estrogen blocker to cycle off of steroids. Now, I mean, it's just sketchy. Hurts my heart to even say it, man. Hurts me to even say. I mean, you guys know by now. You guys knew. John Jones was in my intro. John Jones was in. He was my channel art. He fucking. I mean, how many I made my stance on John Jones very known, and I'm not changing it. I mean, like. I'm not going against him. I'm not turning on him. But because I got to wait till the whole thing plays out. He's innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to say he's guilty without him going through the due process. But none of this stuff really helps, though. Especially me learning it, and I always have the ability to be objective. And just... it's just sketchy, dude. I don't like saying this. I don't like admitting it. I really don't want to admit it. But It's just sketchy. And another thing is, man, what fucking sucks, what pisses me the hell off is that I didn't get to talk about this because, I mean, I didn't even want to talk about this shit, especially during last week when we had like something good to look forward to. Now that's done, man. They were saying that they were planning John Jones versus Stipe in Detroit. Son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? We were going to see John Jones make a run at heavyweight. Not only make a run at heavyweight, challenge for the heavyweight title against Stipe. How long have we been waiting for John to go up? Since 2015, after he beat DC, they're like, oh, are you going to go up and fight Kane? Are you going to go up and fight Kane? And dude, just look at this. He fights Stipe. He beats Stipe. He becomes the heavy. I'm not saying this is how it would play out. I'm just saying, picture this. He fights Stipe, beats Stipe, becomes the heavyweight champion of the world. And then he fights Brock Lesnar for the heavyweight title. You know how many fucking pay-per-view buys that would be? And not only that, think about all the matchups at heavyweight. I know they're teammates, but how dope would an Alistair Overeem John Jones fight be? How dope would like a Kane John fight? Just like everyone, man. There's so many good matchups, and the matchup I'd want to see the most is John Stipe, and that was what they were slating. Like, it just sucks because we might not see it, dude. I mean, what am I talking about? We might not see it. Odds are we're probably not going to see it, at least when it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? At least when Detroit. I doubt we're gonna get it at the motherfucking the Detroit card now. And it just sucks because we're seeing the stage of John Jones' career that we were waiting to see. He finally put the DC chapter behind him. Actually finished DC. Became the first person to do it. And then was about to move up. Become a 2-weight world champion. He'd be the GOAT. Oh, most definitely. You know, that's like, he would be without a doubt the baddest motherfucker in the world. Like, although Randy Couture was a heavyweight and light heavyweight champion, the skill set is almost incomparable. So he would have been the baddest motherfucker in the world. 2 straps, man. And he probably wouldn't even have to vacate the light heavyweight belt, because why the fuck would he vacate it when he cleaned out the division? I feel like when you clean out the divisions and you go up, they should let you keep that shit. Make someone give you a reason to go back down there. But now, I mean, I shouldn't even be talking about this, because what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? So that part sucks, because we're about to get some badass UFC fights. So I'm pissed off that we're not getting that, especially Jones Stipe, because that shit is a super fight in the highest degree. And mixed martial arts, that is the highest level of competition we could possibly see. And we're not going to get it. And we're so close, dude. It's like, it's like a bitch you always wanted to fuck, and you just been talking to her for mad long, and you know she plays games, but you kind of put up with the games and all that. And then finally, like after months and months or however long you've been talking, comes, you're chilling, you're about to get it in, and then something fucks it up for good. You just never know what that's gonna be like, but you're so close. You could, you know, it's just like and it's just ridiculous, man. At this point, like, how, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still processing this, and I know I didn't get a lot out, but especially with this check drop conspiracy. I don't know, man. I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't personally buy another tainted supplement excuse. Although I'd want to believe that's true. Believe me, everything within me wants me to believe that if there's no other explanation that it truly was a tainted supplement. But like, how could it? How could it be? Hold up, I'm getting a call. My bad, guys. Yeah, my bad about that. But yeah, man, like, I don't know. It's just a very weird situation because the frequency of it, circumstances surrounding it, and this is just a new piece of information I got. I thought it was very interesting. I wanted to share with you guys to get your thoughts on it. And again, I know I sound like a motherfucking broken record. I'm not saying this is what it is, but it's something that it's possibly applicable, and it would make sense to it. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have found out about this if it wasn't for that guy telling Shab, and then me looking into it more. And I don't really run in those worlds of weightlifting and bodybuilders and steroids, but they have those people that are very knowledgeable in it, especially on those side of things. So fuck, man, like, I don't know what to think, but he's innocent until due process, and he's proven guilty, and that's all I have to say, man. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm not trying to get, like, I don't want, like, any, like, I don't even know what term to use to describe it, but I would appreciate, like, I don't want to hear, oh, John Jones is a cheater, he's always been cheating, fuck that guy, da da da. I don't really want hate. I just want, like, really logical input. I'm not saying don't say he's a cheater. If you really do think this motherfucker's a cheater and he's been cheating this whole time, let me know why. Like, give me some facts so I could learn. And if you're right, I could learn about it. As I said, I'm always being objective on it. So, I mean, yeah, because, like, I learned some other stuff about the USADA process for 200 that didn't really come and make it public. So, that kind of changes the narrative a bit. And that was my fault because I neglected to look into it to that extent. So, I mean, if you guys, I know you guys are educated fight fans, and if you guys know more stuff, let me know. Let me know what you think about this whole thing, because when I heard about this, I thought it was really interesting. So let me know what you think below. And again, I always appreciate it. You guys are the shit. You always rock with me, support me, and much love to all you guys. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.